Today we are still talking about the February 2023 issue of Kiplinger Personal Finance and the article about how you can make your money last a really long time. A really long time. Now remember, last week we talked about the risk of longevity to retirement. And so this week we are going to talk about the second thing in the article that we found to be really important. And that is that you have to save the right way. Now, of course, we all hear save for retirement, save for retirement. So to hear that we need to save the right way might be a little bit confusing. What does that mean?
Amber, the default solution to retirement saving is tax deferred. The idea being that in retirement, you'll be in a lower tax bracket than when you are working. So if you defer income to the future, you should be in a lower tax bracket. There are several problems with that, however. Number one, most people do not end up in a lower tax bracket. And the reasons are simple. They lose the deductions and the credits they had while they were working. Mortgage interest, child tax credits, deferring income to a 401k, right? All these things are gone and they're simply paying tax on all of their income. So that's the first problem with saving tax deferred. The second problem is that tax rates are going up. By law, they're going up 3 years from now, if not before then. So we know that tax rates are going to be higher in the future. The government keeps running deficits. They're going to have to pay for that somehow. Taxes are likely to be higher in the future. And the third problem with that, Amber, is that as people are taking out these tax deferred accounts, it becomes a tax time bomb, right? The government mandates that they take it out. And when they do, sometimes that pushes them to higher tax brackets and it causes them to pay higher Medicare premiums due to IRMA, the income-related monthly adjustment amount. IRMA is ugly. Premiums go sky high if your income exceeds certain thresholds.
So the term tax time bomb, which is actually the term the article uses, is a little bit scary and disturbing, yes. But there are ways to diffuse this tax time bomb.
The first way is simple. If you have a Roth 401k option at work, you should look into that. In fact, the article points out that according to Fidelity Investments, more than 75% of large employers offer Roth 401k plans, yet only about 14% invest in them. The difference between tax deferred and Roth is you pay tax on the income now, and then it grows and you don't pay tax ever again on that account. So when you're in retirement, if you need more income to keep up with inflation, or you need more income for healthcare, which is the topic of next week's video, so be sure you're subscribed to our channel to get those updates. If you need more income for those things, you can pull it from a Roth IRA without causing undue tax hardships.
So if you haven't started a Roth IRA yet and you're already approaching retirement, it's not too late to start converting to a Roth IRA.
That's right, Amber. While there are income limits on those who can contribute to a Roth IRA, there are no income limits for those who can convert. So again, if you are a few years out from retirement, you might calculate how much income you're going to need, what percentage of your retirement accounts you plan on spending down. You might begin converting some of those amounts from a 401k or IRA to a Roth IRA, bit by bit, not all at once. Don't go convert $500,000 at once, but could you do 25, 30, 40,000 a year for a few years right before retirement, or more likely than not right after you retire when your income drops? Those might be key years that you can convert a portion of that 401k to a Roth IRA, because Roth IRAs, Amber, have no required minimum distributions in the future.
So if you're thinking of converting to a Roth IRA, make sure you talk to your tax professional, to your financial planning professional, to make sure that you are doing it in such a way that it doesn't actually cause problems with taxes.
Right, and one other thing I'll mention, we're gonna talk about in next week's video when it comes to medical costs and long-term care, but you might consider converting a portion of that 401k to a tax-free position to pay for healthcare and long-term care. We're gonna talk about that next week.
The article also points out that if you've experienced big losses in the stock market, it might be a good time to convert right now. Now, why is that?
Well, Amber, say that you have $500,000 and you were gonna convert $50,000 to a Roth, and you'd wipe out then 10% of the taxes on your 401k. But if the stock market has caused that $500,000 drop to $400,000, if you still convert $50,000 of that to a Roth IRA, then you'd eliminate 12.5% of the tax liability on that account, and all future earnings and growth would be tax-free in that standpoint. So it isn't a bad idea if the market has dropped and you're over age 59 and a half, you can start to make some conversions and pay the tax as you go, little by little.
Another possibility besides a Roth to save the right way is to actually save in a taxable account that will result in capital gains.
That's right, Amber. Most people that we work with in retirement are in that 22 or 24% income tax bracket. But the capital gains tax bracket that most Americans pay is 15%. So if you have growth inside of a brokerage account that's subject to capital gains, maybe you're paying a 15% capital gains tax rate as opposed to a 22 or 24% federal income tax rate. So again, the same growth or earnings in the taxable account might net you a smaller tax bill than having that inside of a tax deferred account.
So as you're approaching retirement, make sure that you are taking into account how to save correctly for retirement, not just stocking it all away in the bank, but how to save correctly to position your assets to most benefit you during retirement.
Now, our next video, we are going to talk about how to plan for healthcare costs, and the article points out, Amber, you better plan on some pretty high healthcare costs in retirement. So we're going to cover that in our next video, because our goal here at New Generation Wealth Management is to help you make the rest of your life the best of your life.
Plan now to retire happy.